look at the extended families. Let's see what's going on here. And let's understand the system and how a mother can manipulate an entire area and her own family that have loved me for 10 years. So, on April the 15th, 2022, as you know, my son was stolen overnight by his mother, who now lives in her dead mum and dad's house in Worcester and has inherited their money. Now, also in Worcester is her sister and her stepbrother. Also in Worcester is her brother. Also in Worcester is all my son's nephews and nieces. And I've heard from none of them since the 15th of April 2022 either. These are family members that have known me for 10 years, that know I'm an amazing daddy to my son. And yet it seems that after visiting my home 10 times a year for 10 years, inviting me to their homes for 10 years with my son, fancy dresses, parties, I've heard from none of them people in Worcester since the 15th of April 2022. It's almost as if my son's mother has turned up in Worcester and said, no one speak to Deano, cut off. If I've rung the sister or the auntie, just never answered, never, ever, nothing. We look at the schooling situation in Worcester. My son was reschooled 3 times. And when I found out what school my son was going to and spoke to the teachers, my son was then withdrawn from the school by the parental alienator, and that's just accepted by CAFCAS. In fact, CAFCAS in their report write that although my son is now being homeschooled due to his fear, the mother's got a great system. You got to remember that the CAFCAS officer is based in Worcester and has never visited me, ever. And yet has created a 45-page report on me on a 2.5-minute video interview asking me 2 questions. And so this is disgraceful. I'm reaching out. I'm saying to every person in Worcester that's ever known me, loved me as a father, why don't you do the right thing? Why don't you say to my son's mother, what have you done? You have stolen this man's son. And we all know he was an amazing daddy. His son loved him. And yet none of you have done that. So I tell to any dad, this is the problem you're going to face. Whatever beautiful relationships you have had over the years, a mother can completely manipulate a system. Let's look at the police in Worcester. I've rung them to do a simple welfare check on my son, and yet they tell me they don't have to because he's with the mother. So for 2 years, 6 months, I don't even know if my son's been well or ill. I have no idea about his education, nothing. And no one cares. So it is disgraceful because those family members should be saying to this person, what you're doing is outrageous. Now, my restraining order ends in April next year. I've never moved from my address. I've never caused any fear to my son's mother or my son in any way. Yet let's see what she comes up with before April next year. Let's see what the family do, because the right thing to do should just say, get that man's son to ring him and let him love his son. Let's see if they do that. Love talk.
If you like Deano stories and you want more, and you've got stories of your own that you want told, get in contact and we can sort something out.